This week we're out in Colorado. I'm hunting with Joey Menegatti of Story Creek Outfitters. Now we're going to be doing both antelope and mule deer. Now we're going to try to hunt antelope midday and then do mule deer in the mornings and evenings. And some days we may hunt one or the other all day depending on the weather. So it should be an awesome week. I'm really excited. I've only hunted Colorado a couple other times, but he's got some huge antelope, giant mule deer, and I know it's going to be a blast this week.
Well, I was born and raised in the guiding industry. My mom and dad started it in 1981, so I think we're about 32 years this year. You know, meeting new people every year is exciting. I meet new friends. I mean, we got friends that are basically family now. We've got people that's been hunting with us for 28 years. I enjoy taking people out, especially kids. I just enjoy showing them what I know and what I've learned. And every day, trust me, every day I'm out there, I learn something new.
Well, we're out here in Colorado. This is the first hunt of the season. Just want to shoot my bow a little bit. So we waited, got to sleep in just a little bit this morning. I'm gonna dial it in here and then we're gonna head out. But we're here with Joey Menegatti, and you gotta watch out for this guy. He's over here. I don't know if I trust him even being behind me right now. He's got too big of a smile on for this early in the morning. Now I know Colorado has got some phenomenal mule deer. They've got huge antelope. But one of the things I was most looking forward to was the fact of who I was getting to hunt with. Now on this hunt, Joey was going to be guiding me all the way through. And he's someone that is an absolute blast to be with. You are going to have a great time. Now you're in a really target-rich environment too, but you're going to be out there, you're going to be after those animals, and I can promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun along the way.
I was fortunate enough to be raised in a hunting family, and I just absolutely love it. I'm ate up with it. Not only just to be out there, you know, killing stuff, I'm out there enjoying the scenery and the wildlife and the elk, and to be able to get within bow range of any animal is an accomplishment to me, even though, you know, if I don't take that animal.
To get things started, well, we decided we're going to go after antelope first. So you said they've been coming in right by the tires here?
Yeah, they've been coming in right here. You can see where they got it beat down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing on that side over there. They're coming in over there, so it gives you a broadside shot to the target right there. So
perfect.
Should be pretty close. I think it's about, it might be 17 yards if they're.
I think we can make that work.
Can you make it work?
I hope so. It should get nice and hot.
Yeah, it's supposed to get up in the 90s today and tomorrow. So.
Okay, well maybe we won't need tomorrow.
Hopefully we don't.
It was extremely hot, it was dry, and I just kept thinking, something's gonna change. Now, I sort of have some sort of a antelope jinx going on. I don't know what's going on, but it is a curse. I've been on antelope hunt after antelope hunt, and I've only ever shot one my entire life. And I have no idea how many days I've sat in the blinds looking for antelope, and it just doesn't work out. So when I got here and I saw that it was hot, that everything was right, I said, let's just go after antelope. We'll get it done right away, then we'll focus on mule deer. Well, that was a great plan, and we went out, we sat in those blinds, and we saw a big buck right off the bat. Beautiful, beautiful buck coming in, but he wouldn't come in close enough. Now he was hanging probably 70 yards, went around the water, and just wouldn't come in. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
This segment was brought to you by Sportsman's Alliance. Our heritage, our fight. Protecting hunting from coast to coast.
Did you know that in 2005, the USSA and its partners stopped an animal cruelty bill that would have outlawed hunting in Texas? This is a state that ranks second nationwide in number of sportsmen and women, with 2.71 million hunters and anglers who spend $4.1 billion annually and support over 65,000 jobs. Bottom line, don't mess with Texas. Just another fun fact showing how sportsmen and women are helping make a difference. There's several different ways to go after antelope, but on this hunt we were going to be primarily hunting water holes. Now in the past I've done a lot of spot and stock. I've tried decoying them in, and it can be downright difficult. You've got long shots, you've got antelope that if they're not quite rutting yet, it's just not going to work. And we were here a little bit before the rut, so I wasn't confident that that was going to be our best bet. Plus, it had been super dry, so we thought the blinds sitting at water, that's going to be our best option. But of course, when you do that, well, you're kind of stuck, because if they're not coming in, there's nothing you can actively do to bring them in. Well, we just got into the blind, and I am so excited to be finally back out hunting. We've got really hot weather probably all day today and all day tomorrow. So we were originally gonna go after mule deer, but I think with this weather, these antelope, they've got to water. So we're gonna sit this blind. Looks like a great location. Definitely gonna be hot, but that's okay. Nice, easy way to start off the season. Hopefully we'll see a lot of action. I love sitting out here for antelope because it's so fun. You're set up, you know where they're probably gonna come, and as soon as you start seeing them come in, well, usually they're pretty locked in, and that just gets me excited. So, number one thing, trying to keep the nerves down. We'll see how I do, but pretty excited and glad to be back out hunting. We saw a big buck right off the bat, but he wouldn't come in close enough. Now he was hanging probably 70 yards, went around the water and just wouldn't come in. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. This whole place is dry, this buck isn't coming in, what's the deal? Well, unfortunately, he ended up leaving without ever watering, and I thought, okay, it's just day one, I'm sure it'll be fine. We've got lots of time on this hunt, not gonna get worried yet. Well, the next day, we went out for 12 hours. We sat in the blind all day, and we didn't have much better luck. We had one buck come in, and unfortunately, he still wouldn't water. So out of probably 2 full days of hunting, we had only got a doe and maybe a fawn to come in and water, and that was it.
Typically, we're in a drought, there's no water out there. Typically, it's not that hard, but I could understand if we'd had a lot of rain, a lot of water out there, but I'm not real sure. I think she's just jinxed on the antelope hunt.
This segment was brought to you by Boss Buck. For the most user-friendly and dependable feeder on the market, choose Boss Buck feeders. Now you're getting serious. Winchester Deadly Passion is presented by Cuddyback Digital. More deer, fewer blanks. Hard-hitting Easton Arrows. Golden Triangle Whitetail. Winchester, celebrating 150 years of legendary excellence. Scent Killer Gold with Hunt Dry technology. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. Rage Broadheads, leading the evolution in lethal technology. Sportsman's Alliance, protecting hunting from coast to coast. Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler company. And Moose Utility Division, your leader in ATV, UTV accessories.
I've hunted Colorado a couple of times in years past for mule deer. I actually got a beautiful buck with my rifle, had a big unicorn point, and then I even went out for a velvet hunt. Now this velvet hunt was an absolute blast, but I was hunting all by myself, working, finally got it done. But on this trip, well, Joey was gonna be guiding me, and Joey is an incredible deer hunter. He's just a great all-around hunter and a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, spotting stock's really tough with a bow. Just because obviously, you know, mule deer aren't an animal that you can really call a lot to, you know, and early season they're not rutting, so they're in bachelor groups, so you really got to just spot stock, take your time. Probably 1 out of every 5, 6, 7 stalks is successful. You know, when you start getting in a hurry, you start making mistakes. So if a guy can be patient and take your time, sooner or later it's going to pay off.
This is one of the biggest bucks I've ever seen. He's a really framing deer. Just awesome. And the good news is, he's all by himself.
These big mule deer, I mean, they're big for a reason, and it's not by being stupid. So when they bed down, they know where they're gonna bed down, and typically it's in a tight, brushy area where, you know, you can't see them until you're stepping on them. Basically, we thought we had him dead to rights. We put a really nice stalk in there, got across the big park on him. You know, and this buck stood up, and we were at 40 yards from him and couldn't shoot him because we couldn't see nothing but the tip of his antlers. That just goes to show you these bucks know where they're bedded down. They know where they're safe.
And finally, after Joey made every sort of different call you could imagine, this buck stood up, just looked around, and my heart was just racing. I got to full draw, and instead of just stopping or standing in the lane, he charged right towards us, saw me, cut off to the side, and it was over. This big buck took off, and unfortunately, we never saw him again.
And ended up losing him there. He disappeared. He was smart. He decided to lay low somewhere. So we started focusing outside of that and started looking at some other deer, and we found some other really good deer.
Well, as they were feeding, we just kind of kept parallel right along with them, got to this big dead tree, set up, and they had stopped right there. I thought, perfect. They're gonna feed right into the trees and we're gonna be set. Well, it starts sprinkling, the wind changes, and the next thing I know, instead of those mule deer feeding towards us, they go the other way. So now we're backtracking.
Game plan had to change, We had to stay with them, spot and stalk for another couple hundred yards, a different direction. And to be honest with you, there for a long time, we didn't think it was gonna happen because these bucks, the 3 bucks that we were hoping to shoot were out in the wide open.
And all of a sudden, they start feeding closer and closer, and I'm thinking, I could barely contain myself because I knew this was our chance. The light was winding down. We didn't have any other places we were gonna go. We had big bucks right in front of us. Now, the first buck came through, and I didn't really have a great shot, and the next buck that I see was probably the biggest one of the group, a 4x4, and he's feeding through, and there's my shot. And this buck drops right in his tracks. Now, I wasn't sure exactly what happened, but I knew it was a bad release. I hit my arm, and this buck is down.
First time I've ever seen anybody take a deer off his feet with a bow. I mean, no doubt.
Memory Chase, building our future, one child at a time.
Memory Chase is all about getting more kids involved and features home video from viewers just like you. This week, we're heading to Illinois with 11-year-old Braden Griffith.
Angered him. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Yes!
Give me a high five, dude.
Yes! He's heavy.
That's awesome, man.
I wonder if he's heavy in size. Weighs about 1,000 pounds. Ow!
Dude, that's your biggest buck.
Yeah.
If you or someone you know has youth hunting footage they'd like to share, we'd love to feature their hunt. Visit memorychase.com for details. So a chance to see your kids on TV, a new mission bow, plus tons of other great gear for each weekly winner. Why not enter today? Memory Chase, building our future one child at a time.
Winchester Deadly Passion is presented by Winchester, the American legend. Matthews Archery, catch us if you can. field and stream, where traditions begin. ScoutLookWeather.com. Download the free Deer Log app for your smartphone. Reinhardt, the best archery targets in the world. Analogics, protect your deer herd with the power of science. And Boss Buck, for the most user-friendly and dependable feeder on the market. Now you're getting serious.
Over the years, I'm always trying to figure out what hunt is best at what time of the year. Now, one of the times that's kind of tough is that late August, early September. What can you go after? Well, one thing I found are huge antelope. It's the perfect time to go after them. And I was going this year to Colorado with Story Creek Outfitters with Joey Menegatti, and I knew we were going to have an unbelievable trip. For me, topping off this week with a mule deer, well, I would have been just happy. But I had an antelope tag as well, and I thought, I need to do something to get out there, and we still had a day left. Well, I was thinking, it's just not been working what we're doing. For whatever reason, these bucks are either seeing us, something I'm doing is wrong, I didn't know. So we decided the last day, we've got a new game plan. We are going in before it even gets light, and we're gonna be in that blind before these bucks are watering. Well, I know it seems hard to believe, but we are actually up right now at 5 o'clock getting ready to go antelope hunting. Now, one of the things we've been running into is these antelope are coming in really early. Usually you don't have to go out till it's light, give them a little time. Well, here they've been watering 6:40, 7 o'clock, so it's getting light at 6:30. We're not sure why they're not necessarily coming in. So we thought, well, if we get there in the dark, there's nothing to worry about. They don't see us walking to and from our truck. They don't see us coming out. It's our last attempt. It's our last day today here in Colorado, so we're gonna give it a try. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. If not, we got up early for nothing.
The last morning of Melissa's hunt, she decided to get in the antelope blind before daylight, which kind of shocked me. And which it paid off, because the antelope were hitting that water early, you know.
Now, my cuttybacks were showing that the bucks were coming in at 6:40, 7:30, so we got out there bright and early. We left the lodge at 5 o'clock, got out there, got all set up, and I'm gonna tell you what, for whatever reason, I think it had been a long week, I was having a terrible time staying awake. Luckily, my cameraman, he's always wide awake, and I was just struggling, trying to stay awake, and finally, about 7 o'clock, well, I finally am starting to wake up a little bit, and all of a sudden, we see an antelope coming our way. Now, there was a doe, a fawn, and a buck, spot them about 200 yards out, and they're headed right for the water. Now, this is how it usually works. They look at that water, and they are coming on in. First, the fawn comes in, and she goes down to get a drink, and she's actually looking at our GoPro, and I'm thinking, oh man, is that gonna spook them off? Well, as soon as she started drinking, that buck came in, and as soon as he put his head down, I got to full draw.
She redeemed herself. She made one heck of a shot on a nice buck, and he didn't go but about 50, 60 yards. So it's kind of nice to see she broke the curse here at the Story Creek Outfitter Ranch on the antelope deal. I'd hate to see her go away here with the only person that did not fill her tag during antelope season. I got a 14-year-old kid that was here last week, and he spent an hour and a half in the blind. First animal he's ever killed, no problem. I was kind of worried for her, that's for sure.
Well, that worked out just awesome. That antelope came perfect right in, perfect shot. We have been hunting so hard. Look at this buck, just beautiful. Came in absolutely perfect. We've been having our cameras on the blinds, trying to decide which blind to hunt. Finally made the decision on the last day to try this, and it worked out perfectly. And that really was an awesome way to end it. An excellent shot, and it had just been such a wonderful week altogether. We had so much fun, so many laughs, and I even tried getting Joey a couple times. I wasn't quite as successful as he was, but overall, yes, we got a lot of great animals, but more importantly, we had just a lot of fun on this trip, and I look forward to coming back year after year.
Follow Melissa on Twitter at Melissa Bachman, on Facebook at facebook.com/Winchester Deadly Passion, and Instagram at Melissa_Bachman for behind-the-scenes footage, photos, giveaways, and much more.